One story from Scotland illustrates how these beliefs were taken seriously. In the year 968, a group of witches from the town of Fours were accused of trying to kill King Duffus. Their method was an old magical practice. They created a wax image representing the king. Then slowly and deliberately they began melting the wax figure over a fire, believing that as the image melted, the king himself would grow weaker and eventually die. When this plot was discovered, the accused witches were punished according to the law. They were burned at the stake.
While these events were unfolding in Britain, another struggle was happening across Germany. The spread of Christianity in that region had been slow and difficult. Even by the 8th century, large parts of the population were still returning to older pagan beliefs. This was despite the efforts of many missionaries, including Saint Columbanus, Saint Fridolin, Saint Gall, Saint Rupert, Saint Willibrord, and the famous missionary Saint Boniface. These men worked tirelessly to convert the people, yet many communities repeatedly slipped back into what church writers described as primitive pagan practices. In some regions, this struggle continued for centuries. For example, the Prussian tribes were not considered firmly converted until the early 13th century, when Bishop Albrecht launched a crusade that finally brought them under Christian rule. During the 11th and 12th centuries, records across Europe repeatedly mention individuals being executed for practicing witchcraft. Even powerful rulers became involved in shaping these laws. One of them was Emperor Frederick II. Frederick II had a controversial reputation. He often argued with the papacy and showed little interest in religious obligations. Some writers even claimed that he was a Christian ruler only in name, and that in his personal thinking he was closer to a Muslim philosopher or free-thinking skeptic. He would surround himself with Arabian scholars, ministers, and courtiers, and many people suspected that he held agnostic beliefs. Yet even Frederick saw witchcraft and heresy as serious dangers to the stability of society. Because of this, he declared that a law he had created for the region of Lombardy would apply throughout his entire empire. According to historian Vacandord, this decision removed all uncertainty. From that point forward, heresy in the empire was punishable by death at the stake. At the time, heresy and witchcraft were often treated as closely connected crimes. Frederick may not have cared whether they offended the church, but he believed they could threaten the stability of the state and the foundations of civilization itself. All these examples show something important. The punishment of witchcraft did not begin in the 14th or 15th centuries as many people later believed. And it was not originally created by the Inquisition. In fact, a famous inquisitor named Bernard Guy, who served in Toulouse, wrote in his handbook for inquisitors, called The Practice of the Inquisition, that sorcery itself was not normally handled by the Inquisition. Instead, when people accused of witchcraft came before him, he usually sent their cases to the local bishop's court unless other crimes were involved. To understand this better, it helps to look at the complex history of the Inquisition itself. The Inquisition did not suddenly appear overnight because of a single decree from the Pope. It developed slowly over many years. And contrary to popular belief, Saint Dominic was not the founder of the Inquisition. During a crusade in southern France known as the Crusade in Languedoc, Dominic did take part in religious work. But his role was mainly preaching and bringing people back to the church. Much like the apostles had done centuries earlier, he also founded a religious order, the Dominican order. This order received official approval from Pope Emeritus III in a document issued on December 22, 1216. Saint Dominic died on August 6, 1221. The first Dominican who clearly held the title of Inquisitor appeared later. In November 1232, a man named Alberic traveled through Lombardy with the official title Inquisitor of Heretical Depravity. At that time, church courts were complex systems. Local bishops had their own courts, and traveling inquisitors sometimes worked alongside them. Often the inquisitor simply sat with the bishop as an advisor, helping interpret certain technical aspects of the law. Both could participate in giving the final judgment.